true. You guys have your IDs handy real quick.
I'm not IDing myself.
I'm here because you're concerned.
You're here because she's concerned.
Are you concerned about her welfare? Are you concerned about your children's welfare?
I'm going to ask you to step out.
Okay, fine. Never mind. We're out of here.
Welcome back to the LackLuster channel. In April of 2023, Mr. Blaze heard knocking at his front door at 3:30 in the morning. He and his wife, then pregnant with their 5th child, live far beyond the city limits, which made a visitor at this time especially odd. A strange woman attempted to walk into the home as Mr. Blaze opened his door. He told her that she had the wrong house, to which the woman apologized and began to walk down the long driveway. But no vehicle was in sight, and it wasn't the type of road you'd want to walk down at night. 10 minutes pass, and a car aggressively speeds down the family's long driveway. Mr. Blaze grabs a weapon and watched through the two-way glass as his wife calls 911.
Orange County Sheriff's Office.
Hi, I have somebody that just sped up our driveway, and we don't know who they are.
You said there's
Somebody quick. My husband's at the door, and it's going to get bad if you don't get here quick. I don't know who these people are, and I have kids.
Okay, they're currently in your driveway?
Yes. This is the second time. I don't know. There was a lady that came the first time. I don't know who she was. She was trying to walk in our house.
As his wife continued to describe the vehicle and provide its license plate, Mr. Blaze opens the door and told the intoxicated man that was driving the vehicle to back away, noticing that the woman who came to the door just 10 minutes prior was in the car's passenger seat, and the couple backed down the driveway. Deputies from the Portage County Sheriff's Office arrived about 10 minutes later.
The first time there was no car here, and a woman came to the door, looking pretty disabled, like she was, supposed to be meeting up with somebody here or something, but there was no car. Like, I don't know if it was parked at the end of the road.
Oh, okay.
But she proceeded to walk in the door like she was welcome here. I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, I'm Kat. I'm like, the hell does that mean to me?
Right.
Like, you need to go.
Couple minutes later, a car comes up the road speeds up our driveway, and that's when I call 911 because they went up our driveway all aggressive and then next thing I know, there's a man at the door.
He goes, what's the address here? I said, you're not supposed to be at this address. We got kids here. I don't know what the f***'s going on here, but you need to go.
Okay.
And he said, hold on a second. And the girl was in the car, and they were looking for, I guess was the address they were looking for. I'm like, that's not this address.
After explaining the events that took place earlier, Deputy Japuncha asks for the couple's IDs.
Front whip to no good.
That's true. That's true. You guys have your IDs handy real quick.
I'm not IDing myself. That's completely up to you.
Look.
I can ID myself.
Okay, listen. Just need it for the report so I know who I'm talking to. Okay? It's just part of the investigation.
Understood.
Okay.
I'm not giving up my ID.
Okay. Failure to identify can be an obstruction charge.
The deputy is correct. Failing to identify can be an obstruction charge, except not in this case. You see, in Ohio, like most states, for a law enforcement officer to have the lawful authority to demand ID, they must reasonably suspect that a person has, or is about to commit a crime. They can also bypass your Fourth Amendment rights if they believe you to be a witness of specific felonies. In the current situation, however, neither occupant is suspected of criminal activity, and the incident they're reporting, while certainly odd and worthy of investigating, lacks any criminal element, which suggests that the officer is threatening Mr. Blaze with a misdemeanor charge for refusing to help fill out his report.
I didn't call you, she did. So
Doesn't matter. You're here, you're part of this.
Okay.
I don't really care. My husband doesn't really trust cops. But I call you guys, and I do, so...
Mrs. Blaze provides her ID as Mr. Blaze retrieves his phone and begins recording.
Just really doesn't trust the system. I mean, he's been screwed over by it before.
Well, I'm here to help you guys,
I know you are. Believe me.
It's technically an obstruction charge. I don't want to go there.
He will go there. He will go there. I'm just letting you know.
I don't want to go there.
I'm not IDing myself. I didn't call.
Excuse me, young lady.
Yeah.
What did he drive?
Which?
What does he drive?
I mean, what is it? How hard is it?
I just won't. I didn't call you. And
I'm here because you're concerned. Okay.
you're here because she's concerned.
Okay, are you concerned about her welfare? Are you concerned about your children's welfare? Yes or no?
I'm going to ask you to step out.
Okay, fine. Never mind. We're out of here. Trying to be reasonable.
I'm not going to give him my ID. That's not an obstruction.
Unable to charge Mr. Blaze for the absolute non-crime of desiring privacy, the deputy now retreats his unfounded threat of obstruction and instead runs the plates on the family's vehicles to get his name and added an alert to the address, alleging that Mr. Blaze is, quote, hostile to law enforcement, which is odd, as Mr. Blaze never raised his voice or disparaged the officers.
I didn't call you. And
I'm here because you're concerned. Okay.
you're here because she's concerned.
Okay, are you concerned about her welfare? Are you concerned about your children's welfare? Yes or no?
I'm going to ask you to step out.
In fact, Deputy Japuncha's retaliation towards him appears to have been for the simple act of exercising his constitutionally protected right to be secure in his person and papers. The deputy's feelings were so damaged at the idea that a mere citizen would dare flex his rights, that he was willing to create an increased risk for the entire family in the event they requested help from law enforcement in the future. But sadly, this is the state of law enforcement in the United States today. But you will have to let me know in the comments down below whether you think they simply don't understand the constitutional limitations to their authority, or if it's more likely that they just don't respect the Constitution. A big thanks to Mr. Blaze for letting me share his story. He's not an auditor, nor does he have a YouTube channel, so if you have praise or criticism for him, be sure to let him know in the comment section.
Run the segment, pull a picture of. That's what I was gonna do. You got warrants.
Thanks for watching. If you have a video, use the submit link in the description or pinned comment. If you enjoyed this one, subscribe and hit the bell for future content, and check out our other channels, Lady LackLuster and The Odd Side. Remember to like, share, and leave a comment about what you think of this interaction. It's the easiest way for you to help expose corruption and misconduct. Merchandise is available using the links below. Join the LackLuster family for just $1 if you'd like to further support the channel. Get a Lack logo next to your name, custom emotes, and early access to videos. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. All links are down below.